Hi everyone, it's Nat here. Hope you're all doing well. Thought it was about time I got on and showed you where I'm up to with my guest design team project for Whichcraft Do You Do for October. So I'm doing a couple of videos during the month, and what I've decided to make is some little cinch bound journals. When I had a look at the digitals, I saw the birds, I saw the bugs. I couldn't decide which one I wanted, so I grabbed both. I loved the size of the little card pieces in there, and I thought that'd be perfect for pages in some little cinch bound journals. So I've spent the last few days cutting out a lot of things. So I have here, all the bits and pieces. So, as I said, I couldn't decide between bugs and birds. So I decided to do a journal on birds and a journal on bugs. But then the bug kit is so big that I've decided to split that up too. So I'll be doing 3 because I'm an idiot. So I'm doing birds, bugs, and butterflies. So I've divided some of the bits and pieces into butterflies, bugs, there's some more bugs, and then birds. So what I thought I might do is a video today on some of the bird bits and pieces, and then I might do a video again on bugs, and then a video on butterflies, just to show some of the process on using some of the digital pieces that I've got. And then at the end I will be showing flip throughs of the 3 journals. So yes, I've cut out all the frames. Now I did use my scan and cut to cut a lot of these pieces. I'm still getting used to using it because I haven't used it for ages. So there's a few edges that I'll have to trim myself, but that's all right. I thought it might give my arms a bit of a break. So I've been cutting out all specimen labels. These are little invoice holders that I've stored them in, which are working really great because I can keep them separate, but they still don't take up too much room. So I might want to use these too. So yeah, each of the kits I got had all these different labels and that, and then I printed out some of the freebies as well. So I've got stacks to play around with. Lots and lots of fun. So I have made a start, and I have picked some covers. Now initially I saw the size of the little pieces that were about this size, and I was going to make my pages about that size, but then I thought if I'm cinching them with my 1-inch rings, they're not very big pages. So I thought I'll probably back these onto bigger pieces just to make the page sizes a bit nicer to write in. So, and that'll work out nicely because it will give me a bit of contrast for the pictures to sit on as well. So that's what I've decided to do. So I have a bin underneath my couch, a roll-out bin that is chock-block full of book covers. So it's great to get using some of those. And I found this one, and I like colour on this because of the colour that is on the bird pictures, which I'll show you afterwards, that are in the bird collection set 1 that I chose to use, which I've got some of the pictures here. So I thought I'd use this one. So I've just cut the spine out of it, and on the raw edges I found this fabric that I had, just some scrap fabric, and I've just wrapped that around the raw edges. So of course I'll be punching holes into the covers to bind. I hope they go through that all right. If not, I'll have to glue it back down and fix it, but that's all right. It's all trial and error. And I have made a start by just doing this inside page. So that's just got one of the inside pages of the Observer's Book of Birds on there, because I really like that. And then this picture of a beautiful colourful parrot that I found some cards in a second-hand shop, and they had this little pamphlet with them, and he came out of the pamphlet. So I thought I'd use that on the inside there. I want to have a bit more look at the cover here, because what I've done is, there's the Observer's Book of Birds dust cover, and what I've done with that is just broken off one side of this flip over bit and stuck it to the coloured fly page of a book, and that's going to go on the back cover just like that. I think that'll look all right. And I might even put a bird on there, we'll see. I'm going to end up with birds everywhere, but why not? It is a birdie journal. So I might just stick that down anyway. Now I've just got to be mindful because I know I'm putting holes here, but I have measured how far the holes go in, so I can check that with my pages. Now it's not going to look straight no matter where I put it because the paper I've ripped a bit crooked, but that's fine. Don't want everything to be too perfect. So that just adds something a bit to the back there. We might cut out a bird for that. That'd probably look nice actually. What have we got? Or even one of our stamps. You don't want a big bird, want a little one. Might just cut out this brown owl and we'll see what he looks like. So let's just have a look what we think. Oh, he sits there nicely. Does look kind of cute there, doesn't he? Don't think we need anything underneath. Do have lots of labels and that. Let's just have a quick look. Could do something like that. Got a few different colours here. Maybe we should stick to the browns. Okay, so I've just got some layering fabric here. Oh, that looks nice. Must have coffee dyed some cheesecloth, knowing that I had this project in mind. That would look quite nice. So, scissors. Don't know if I coffee dyed. I might have dyed it with some ink because it doesn't stink. Not sure how much I'm going to want. So if any. It's hard to manage this stuff sometimes. We just want a minimal amount, but we just want to see it poking out a little bit behind. And then put a beautiful bird on top. Yeah, I think I like that. So I might keep that cheesecloth hanging around. Do the sticky part. Just want to pick up the cheesecloth with it first and get it placed. And we figure out our placement of this. Because we wanted our bird about there, which means we want our label about there where it says London. Okay, that'll be. That will do. Then we'll put our little owl down. Sit about like that, I think. Now I think what I'll do is tomorrow I'll go outside and give the covers a seal, just a matte varnish spray, just to protect these printed bits and the book cover pieces as well. Okay, so that's the back cover done, I think. Very good. Put that to the side to dry. Now we've got the front cover. Now for the front cover, I've got this, which is end book page again. Now I like the white pieces there, so I'm going to leave them as are. I'm just going to rip this one down a bit. And then I've got this beautiful printed piece from the kit. So I just love the colour, and that's what made me choose the colour on this book cover as well. Doesn't quite match, but I don't mind. I really love it, and I like the contrast of the brown as well. And it helped me theme the journal as a whole. So I'm thinking about putting the brown underneath and then the picture on top, but off centre just a little. Again, I've got to be mindful that we're punching our holes down the side there. And what I might try is, I don't know how it's going to work, we will see. I want my water spray. Don't know how it's going to work with this because this stuff's pretty brittle, so it'll probably just break a bit, but that's all right. I just want to mangle the corner here and the opposite corner down here a little bit. So I might just use this. I'm just going to wet the paper a little bit in this corner. I'm just going to give it a bit of a twirl around my little twirly tool, if I can, without breaking it too much. There we go. And the water should help it sort of stay in that sort of shape a bit. Could get my heat tool out, but I'll probably just let it dry a la natural. Could put it in front of the heater. I've got the heater on at that moment because it's raining and it's cold here in the hills when it rains. So I'll probably play around with that once it's dry and ink it up a bit and that, just to grunge it a little bit. We will see. So I might be able to pull this out and just leave it now to dry. It will come loose a bit, but that's all right. And we'll do the same with the corner down here. Getting the water everywhere on it. Gonna give it one more roll. And I'll just let that sit for a minute and use my tissue just to take some of the wetness away up here. So I'm going to stick this in front of my heater now for a bit. And another project I want to get on with today is I have these beautiful envelopes. I'd like to use one of those. And I'm going to use it as a page as well, and it seems to fit. Let's just double check. Yeah, it'll fit nicely in there, top, bottom, as well as side to side. Perfect, really, even open like that. Don't know if I'll leave it open or I'll probably fold that over. We'll see. Doesn't matter at the moment, but I do want to embellish it a bit. So what I've done is grabbed one of the beautiful tags from the kit. Gorgeous. So, and I think the brown of that goes really nicely on our envelope. So I'm going to adhere this to the front of the envelope to make a tuck spot. So as usual, I will ink around it, and I'm only doing it because I don't want the whites showing around the edge of the paper. It is a bit like cardstock, this photo mat, so being that thick, you do see the white where it's being cut. Just taking that off. Now, before I do put it down to the front, it'd probably be nice to embellish that a little as well. So I am thinking I do have, I mean, if you're going to do birds, you've got to have feathers, right? Okay, so I just want to say that no birds are being harmed in the making of this journal. My daughter left me with so many craft feathers and I have no idea what to do with them. So I thought this is a situation where I can do something with them. So, yeah. Although most of them are like these really bright, fancy ones. So these are the only ones that are sort of brownish that I've got. There are some green ones which might work in some spots, and I found these book pages with eggs on. I'm thinking maybe an egg might go on there too. So maybe one of them speckled ones, one or two of them with a feather poking up. That's my thought now to try and make it work. And then I might do a tab on here as well. So let's have a look. I hate using these things too, and I'm not sure how I'll stick one of these fluffy ones down. Oh, they're pretty though, aren't they? Very pretty. Very fluffy too. So now eggs. So do we want big? No, I think we want like a size like that. So I'm going to cut one or two of those out, and then we'll be back to see how it's going to look. Okay, so I think it's coming together here. So I've cut out these eggs. I cut out two of the smaller ones. I didn't like how it looked. I thought that was the egg, but that side's the egg. Looks convincing. But I thought a bigger one might look better, and I like a smaller and a bigger one together. And then I cut off the end of the feather so it's not so high, so it's not so thick. so the eggs sit a bit better. And then I found I have a bag of all my scrap cotton from sewing machine. So I've grabbed some threads out of that for my little nest down here. So I think that will work well. So I think we'll put that together. Why not? So I'm just going to ink around the edges of my eggs, of course. I have little bits of feather everywhere now that I cut the ends off of that one. It's almost as bad as that eyelash thread. Messy to work with. Okay, let's see if we can put this together now. Hang on. Don't know if that's going to help or not. Probably all land on me in a minute. Move some of this stuff out of the way. I think I'll go my Helmars. I know it works. Now I've got to get our placement. I think if we just do it, might make a little mark. I think that'll do. Now I might try putting it. This is the hard part. Let's just do that. I think because we're sticking this on the front of the envelope as a page rather than slipping it in and out of a pocket, that this will be fine. I hope. So that should hold it nicely. Like him standing up sort of straight, but the blue one can be on a slight angle. So far so good. Now I am sewing down there and across there to make the pocket, which might just look alright as it is. I don't know if we need our nasty stuff, but I might put it there anyway just because I've got it out. Actually, I don't think we do need it, so ditch that. I like the look of the eggs the way they are. If we're sewing around there, we're going to have some brown stuff anyway, so. All right. So now I'm just thinking, so we'll put that on that side. We'll be binding it on that side. It'll be a pocket going in that way. Be flipping it over there, which means the binding will be there. I do want to embellish the back. Just debating whether I do that before I sew or afterwards. And I did cut out a beautiful owl for the back. And I have a bit of paper here for a writing spot. And I thought we could also maybe add some labels to that. So I think that'll be nice. So let's have a look. So we've got these, and I think I like the colour of this, goes nicely with our owl. There. I like how it says memoranda there too, so I want to leave that. So I think we might cut the paper down a bit. So I'll just grab a ruler, I think, and give it a rip. Because I just saw how crooked that ruler was. I think I've been cutting with it. Again, I've got to be mindful of where we are. Binding at that side, which is that side. Which means we're sewing that side. So we've got to be careful of our owl and that. So what I might do is sew our tag on before I embellish the back, and that way I'll know where the sewing is. So do I want it flush with the edges? No, I think I want it in just a couple of millimetres. I think that will look nice. So I might just tack it down. Oh, the other thing is, do I want a tab? So I'll just grab my fabric scraps, I think. And something just jumped out at me when I opened up my fabric scrap drawer. What's this? That looks nice. I like it when things just jump out at you like that. Makes life a bit easier. Yeah, I might just use some of that. It's just for looks, really. Just thinking, do we just want a little one that sticks up like that, or do we want to fold it over like that? I think I like the idea of a little one that just sticks up with the frayed edge. Yeah. So what I will do is take this to the sewing machine, and I'm just going to use brown thread to sew a little tab on. Okay, so I've just sewn my little scrappy tab on there. So now what I'm going to do is just tack the tag onto my envelope with my glue, because if I don't do that, once I start sewing, everything will go crooked. So I just want to go down this edge. Whoops, that's a bit much glue. And the bottom there. And leave about 1 millimetre so we can see the envelope, because I like that look. So that's going to be our tuck spot. I just like the idea of sewing it because it is quite a thick card, just to make sure it holds well, since we'll be slipping items in and out of it. And then we'll be able to slip things in and out of the pocket as well itself, and then we'll embellish the back. So I'll just let that dry. Okay, so I can't help myself. I need to put some sort of fibre down the bottom there. I don't want a big lot though, and I will be sewing over it. So what I might do is just use a tad of my fabric glue along there and just put this. And just let a few bits stick up, sort of a bit like a tangle. And then I can sew over it, and if any bits annoy me, I'll just chop them off. Yeah, that will do, I think. So let that dry, I'll sew over it, and then I will cut any bits off that offend me. So I will be back once I've sewn down the edge there and across the bottom. Okay, so I've finished my sewing there. I think it looks all right. I did a little bit of zigzag over the stitches here, so that sort of corralled them a bit. But there's still a few bits sticking up, so that's kind of nice. So I might leave some of those sticking up a bit. We will see what I think. That one could be a bit shorter maybe. I'll chop the one at the back. Just grab my ink blending tool. Just ink these a bit so it doesn't, the white doesn't stand up so much where it's perforated the card there. So there's my tuck spot, and I love that. I think it looks pretty cool. And I just realised that this little piece that we broke off from our memoranda piece fits perfectly in that pocket, so that could probably do for in there. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Might find some stamping to do up there afterwards. That might look nice. So that can just sit in there, adds a bit more writing space. So now we've got the back to do, and we've got to try not to ruin our feather while we do it. So we have our owl, which will need an ink as well. I've got a little label. I think this label came from, if I'm correct, which I might not be, but if I am, it came from the labels, tags and labels. And what set was it? I think that was set 1 too. But they'll all be listed below, thankfully, so you can go and check them out and tell me if I'm wrong. So, which I'm sure you will. It's a lot to remember, so we want him hanging out there somewhere. And journaling spot, and it will be, have the holes down that way for the binding. So his head would be about there. Now we just need to figure if we want any. Now, did we do? No, we could do some more cheesecloth. Be a bit cheesy and put some cheesecloth or some other material behind our little label here. Might look nice. So I might stick my memoranda piece down. I'm not going to ink around it. It would look nice, but I don't want to be in the habit of inking everything in this journal because I've got a lot of pages like this and that in there, and I'm not going to ink around all of them. So I think that'll do. It's definitely the right side. Okay, we'll get that onto the fabric first. I'll just rip a bit of that off to do it on. Then we want to make sure we get our placement. Okay. Yeah, that looks nice. So just about center there. Then we've got to put our owl down. Might just pull that piece out because it will annoy me. And he'll sit really nicely there. This is just grease-proof paper. I like to use it to glue things on. Oh, I meant to cut that middle bit out. That won't matter, we can just ink it a little bit. There's always something I forget. Just grab my ink. I'll just go in there a tad. So it's not so white and then we won't notice it as much. Yeah, that's a bit better. Beautiful. That looks lovely. So we've got our tuck spot in the front. We've got a little note piece at the back, and we can fit something in the pocket, which I'll have to find something for a bit later, I think. So I do think I'll put a stamp up the top there, though. I think I'll do it just up there. Yeah, that'll be fine. And that can just sit in there like that. Now let's have a look at our little 12 paper bit. So that is pretty well dry now, and they're holding really nice and tight like that. And even if when I go to punch holes that gets squished, it's not going to matter much. It'll just make it look more wrinklier and grungier, which is sort of what we want anyway. So we can just, might have to get some ink on there. I don't want too much ink on it though, because as I said, I don't really want to ink up much, but just get some of the edge bits and give it a bit of colour. Dirty it up a bit, especially on the folded edges here. Yeah. Now, that was going to go. Have we inked around that? No, we haven't. So I have to do the edges of that just to get the whiteness off. So that will probably go on a bit like that. So let's grab our cover back. Now, I'm a bit paranoid about getting that dirty. Something like that. And the other idea was, I've got these. These came with the, pretty sure these came with the frames and that in the Bugs collection, set 1. Again, tell me if I'm wrong. It'll be linked down below. And you get so many of these. These will be cool to use in all sorts of projects. But I'm thinking of maybe putting a gold one on here somewhere. I'm not sure. Kind of like it. Let us. Do I just put this down and be done with it? Yes, I think I do. Or else we'll be here forever. I already have been, but the power of editing, it won't, hopefully won't seem like that for you guys. don't think I want anything under that. I like the brown. So I think I'm going to put that down too. Okay, so tomorrow I think what I'll do is give that a nice spray varnish with just some matte spray just to protect the print there. So that looks pretty cool. I've got to decide on this. I do kind of like it. Let me just grab my brads. And see if we think any of these would look nice in there. Got small ones here. I do have gold ones. I've got shiny gold. It would look better with the not so shiny. And I do have two of those. Now my hole puncher. Just thinking, is that going to be too big? It is quite big. I don't think we need that. A bit excessive. So I'll just grab my awl and this stuff and a pencil. Where do we want them? About there. And you know, I'm not used to doing this. I feel like I've got to measure it because I can't get anything even. Where's my ruler? Help. This one will do. So just over 3. It's about there. That looks about right. Take the little end bit off. That might work. Now the little end bits on this are huge, so I'm not sure how we're going to go with that. I think I might be able to chop them down. I might do that. I'm just going to grab my pliers. Good luck to me. These might work. So, have my glasses on. Hopefully they'll save my eyes. But they just look way long. I don't think they need to be that long. Can't see about that. That worked. Don't know if they're going to split very well, but we'll soon find out. I'm going to make sure those middle bits go straight in the bin, I think, rather than in my foot. Can I split them? Now, someone told me that's what this thing's for. Oh, me like. And that worked. Beautiful. Now let's see what we think. I think that looks a lot better. Now it's just getting the placement. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Put it down before you change your mind. Okay, I think that'll be it for this video, or it's going to end up way too long. I was going to do some slides as well, but that's going to have to be another video. But at least that is a good start. I'll just tidy my desk up a bit and do a quick recap on what we've managed to do so far. I do have a whole lot of pages organised. I'll find the back now. Where is it there? But this is what we've managed to do today anyway, so that is a great start. So we've got the back cover there that we just embellished with this part of the book dust cover and fussy cut bird from the bird kit and a beautiful label on some cheesecloth. I haven't done the inside of that yet. Then we've got the front cover. I love that. That looks a lot better now it's got the brads in it, I think. And I like my little turned up corners, and they seem to be staying nicely with the water spray. Beautiful picture. Love that one. And then on the inside there we have our parrot. First page of our Observer's Book of Birds. And then we've made this pocket page with the lovely tag that I've sewed on to make this pocket, and our eggs and feather. And then another beautiful fussy cut owl. I've got a theme of owls going on, but I'm going to use a lot of the other birds in the different coloured bits and pieces that I'm doing. It's just because these bits had the brown that I thought the owls would go nicely with them. Another one of the beautiful labels there. So they've turned out really nicely, so I'm happy with that. I think I've got good direction on where I'm going with this one. So I'm looking forward to getting on and doing some more with you guys soon. So take care of yourselves. Go and check out the kits and Whichcraft Do You Do. The shop is linked below, as well as the individual kits. If there's one you're specifically interested in, the links will take you to that kit if you want to have a look. Take care, be good, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.